Go.
I'm Goli Rajiv Santhoji. I belong to a small town called Haldwani, near Nainital. And we actually just stumbled across Dr. Vikas Ahluwalia. Since we live in such a small town, we don't know much about big doctors, except, like Dr. Trehan or someone we've heard of and we see on television more often than not. But we came down to this hospital with my maternal aunt actually, and she'd lost 20 kilos of weight in just a couple of months, and we went around everywhere, whatever money could buy. We did everything. No one could diagnose what had gone wrong. So typically speaking, the first thing that we ended up doing is just check out for a hospital which would be professional, not being managed by doctors who would be running around from pillar to post making money, so to say. So we checked into this hospital, and by something would happen, and perhaps that's how we got Dr. Ahluwalia here. And he was one of the few people who actually said do not go in for tests. So many tests, he just cut down randomly except for those tests which are absolutely necessary. And he checked on a lot of the tests we already had done. And they zeroed in on the fact that my aunt had cirrhosis of the liver, which no one could. And I can name a lot of doctors right here in Delhi, in big hospitals like Gangaram, who could not even tell what was wrong. I mean, you should get an inkling as a doctor that this might be what it is, and that's what they couldn't do. Okay. And from there, we also realized that he declared a lot of things which we weren't even sure of. Other doctors had suggested insulin when you actually give glucose to a person who was suffering from hypoglycemia. And that was absolutely, for someone like a layman like me, just, we didn't know what to do. But then logically, when he explained it to me later, I mean, her liver's not working, not producing the sugar, so why are you giving insulin to her? I mean, it made a lot of sense. So, I mean, which doctor would actually go out of his way, especially in a busy city like Delhi, to actually sit down and explain what's going wrong, okay, and what should not be done, what should be done. Having said that, as my aunt is a little fussy, we had to, get an air ambulance and get a transfer to transport it here on and off from Haldwani, and that was around 3 or 4 times that we've done that. And during the time, I've virtually moved my entire family into his care, for the simple reason that he does not make us spend extra money. He's one of the most ethical people I've ever seen, and I'm not only talking about doctors. Okay, he is an example to anyone who wants to be a doctor, and I think this is the kind of person every doctor should be like. Not just a professional who's trying to make money or trying to create a big name for himself, but someone who actually cares for his patients. And when I just happened to tell him that my sugar is very high, he didn't even bother about a consultation slip or anything like that. He just said, "What are your numbers?" Okay, so I just told him this, and he immediately prescribed medicines without asking for a single rupee, without asking for a consultation fee, which was really impressive. To please try to understand, he did not know about my background. He did not know anything about whether I could actually afford, to get treatment here, or so on and so forth. But he's been amazing since then. Like I said, I even moved my mom into his care. He makes sure that I text him whatever details are there. And since my aunt is she's a very serious.
So you text him on a daily basis your sugar levels?
Not only daily, perhaps sometimes 3 or 4 times. Not only about me, about my mom, my aunt. It just keeps going on and on. And this gentleman actually replies. I mean, he's one of those, I think, old school guys who actually believes in, replying to every message or letter that comes. I really wish, it was written as in handwritten. I'm sure he would write a beautiful letter if he would. But then even the texts that he replies to, it shows basically where you come from. And these more riche kind of doctors who are more interested in money. I don't think that those are the kind of people we need. And it is people like Dr. Ahluwalia who have to lead from the front, and it's not something, it is they are made in such a way that they actually have to go forward, show as in, there are many doctors who are not exposed to his style of working, so he has to show it to the other doctors as well, not only here but everywhere else. And I think we need more doctors like him in a country like India.
Okay.